My friends, sometimes the world does not change because of facts. It changes because of stories. A single rumor can travel faster than truth, and in that journey, it can shape perceptions, create doubts, and even influence the decisions of nations. Today, we are going to talk about one such claim. Did Saudi Arabia really sell Pakistan's atomic secrets to the United States? Now, whether true or false is not the point at this moment. The point is to understand why such a story appears, why it spreads, and what lessons it carries for all of us. Because history is not only made by reality, it is also shaped by belief. And if we don't learn to question the narratives around us, then someone else will write our truth for us. Stay with me till the very end of this discussion. What you will discover is not only about Pakistan or Saudi Arabia, not only about the United States, but about the power of trust, the importance of sovereignty, and the responsibility each nation carries to protect its dignity. If you remain engaged, I promise you will leave with more clarity, more awareness, and perhaps even more inspiration to see beyond the headlines. The circulating allegation that Saudi Arabia may have sold Pakistan's atomic secrets to the United States is one of those claims that instantly captures global attention, even when there is no verified evidence to support it. The power of such a claim lies not in its truth, but in the ability to provoke debate, stir suspicion, and create narratives that serve the interests of different actors. In the modern information age, a single unverified report can spread like wildfire across social media, talk shows, and international headlines, often being repeated enough times that people start treating it as fact. This is precisely what makes such allegations so significant in the geopolitical arena. They don't just question the actions of states. They challenge trust between allies and cast doubt on the very foundation of national security. When it comes to Pakistan, the nuclear program is not merely a military asset. It is deeply tied to national identity, sovereignty, and survival. The suggestion that its secrets could be sold by another country immediately touches a raw nerve both within Pakistan and across the region. Saudi Arabia, on the other hand, is a close ally, often described as Pakistan's brotherly partner. Therefore, to allege that Saudi Arabia could betray this trust by transferring sensitive nuclear information to the United States is not only shocking, but also strategically disruptive. It plants seeds of mistrust in one of the most important bilateral relationships in the Muslim world. From the perspective of the United States, the nuclear issue has always been a priority. Washington has long sought greater visibility into Pakistan's nuclear capabilities and command structures, often pressuring Islamabad to provide transparency. Against this backdrop, a claim that an intermediary like Saudi Arabia may have provided insights fits neatly into existing Western anxiety. It is precisely this alignment with pre-existing fears that makes the allegation so easy to believe for some, even without evidence. Yet the most crucial point is that no hard proof has been produced to validate the story. It remains a circulating claim, moving more in the space of rumor and conjecture than in fact and verification. Its purpose may not be to establish truth at all, but to destabilize perceptions, to test loyalties, and to keep both Pakistan and Saudi Arabia under international scrutiny. Now, the very circulation of this allegation shows how powerful narratives can be in international politics, where even the suggestion of betrayal can carry as much weight as reality itself. The relationship between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia has always been unique in its depth and character, extending far beyond the usual definition of international alliances. For decades, the two nations have been tied by shared religious values, mutual strategic needs, and consistent economic cooperation. Saudi Arabia has often stepped in to provide Pakistan with crucial financial aid during times of economic crisis, while Pakistan has supplied trained military personnel, security expertise, and strategic backing to the kingdom whenever required. This interdependence has created an image of reliability, a bond that is not transactional in nature but deeply rooted in political, cultural, and emotional dimensions. This history becomes important when analyzing why allegations about sensitive issues such as nuclear secrets generate so much discussion. The closeness between the two countries means that any rumor of betrayal carries more shock value than it would between ordinary allies. If Pakistan has long trusted Saudi Arabia enough to allow military collaborations, and if Saudi Arabia has relied on Pakistan for defense expertise, then the very idea that Riyadh would compromise Pakistan's most guarded national asset feels like a rupture of that trust. It suggests a deeper problem, and is this suggestion that amplifies the power of the rumor even without evidence. Another factor is the timing and geopolitical climate in which such claims appear. Saudi Arabia's evolving relationship with the United States, including its attempts to modernize and diversify its partnerships under changing leadership visions, means that every move it makes is carefully scrutinized. When the kingdom grows closer to Washington, especially in defense and intelligence cooperation, speculation naturally arises about what it might share or concede in exchange for American support. Because Pakistan's nuclear program is a long-standing point of U.S. concern, it becomes an easy target for those who wish to sow doubt or stir controversy. The strategic partnership also has an element of symbolism that cannot be ignored. For many observers, Saudi Arabia and Pakistan together represent a powerful Muslim bloc with potential influence over the balance of power in the Middle East and South Asia. If a crack were to appear in this alliance, it would not only weaken regional solidarity, but also give external powers more leverage to manipulate the situation. This is why claims that touch on their mutual trust are so explosive. They are not only about nuclear secrets, but about the strength and resilience of a relationship that has historically stood firm in the face of shifting global dynamics. United States' long-standing interest in Pakistan's nuclear program is one of the most consistent themes in South Asian geopolitics, and it provides a backdrop for why such rumors gain traction. Since Pakistan first demonstrated its nuclear capability in the late 1990s, Washington has kept a close watch, often expressing concerns about the safety, command structure, and potential proliferation risks of these weapons. For American policymakers, the idea of a Muslim-majority country with nuclear power has always carried both strategic and security implications. This constant scrutiny makes Pakistan's nuclear assets a natural point of speculation whenever there are shifts in alliances or tensions in the region. When reports circulate about Saudi Arabia allegedly sharing nuclear information with the US, they do not exist in isolation. They feed into this long history of American curiosity and concern. The US has consistently pushed for greater transparency, urging Pakistan to sign treaties or accept monitoring frameworks that will allow international oversight. Pakistan, however, has maintained that its program is purely for deterrence and national defense, and therefore must remain under sovereign control. This clash of perspectives means that every rumor of American excess whether through allies like Saudi Arabia or through intelligence operations, appears believable to some because it aligns with Washington's known objectives. At the same time, geopolitics has shaped how and when such stories surface. Whenever Pakistan's relationship with the US becomes tense, these rumors gain momentum as a way of suggesting that Washington might be using alternative routes to achieve its aims. Similarly, when Saudi Arabia strengthens its ties with Western powers, particularly the United States, suspicions grow that it could act as a bridge between Islamabad's secrets and Washington's interests. The narrative thrives because it matches the broader logic of global power struggles, where stronger nations seek influence over weaker ones, and allies are sometimes suspected of compromising trust for strategic gains. The nuclear question is not only technical, but psychological. It represents national pride for Pakistan, secession for the United States, and a bargaining tool in international negotiations. This is why, even without proof, the mere suggestion of a transfer of secrets resonates so strongly. It allows critics and competitors to paint a picture of vulnerability while also fueling debates about sovereignty, loyalty, and global influence. In such an environment, rumors become a form of geopolitical currency, traded to shape perceptions even when the underlying facts remain unverified. Nuclear secrets are not like conventional intelligence or simple military data. They represent the very foundation of a nation's security architecture. For Pakistan, whose nuclear program was built under immense international pressure and regional hostility, the idea that this information could be passed on so easily undermines decades of sacrifice, secrecy, and investment. It is not just about technology or designs. It is about the credibility of deterrence, the safeguarding of sovereignty, and the assurance to citizens that their nation's most powerful shield remains untouchable. The allegation that Saudi Arabia could compromise this bond of secrecy by transferring sensitive details to the United States immediately calls into question the trust that underpins international alliances. Trust is perhaps the most fragile and yet the most essential component in defense partnerships. Pakistan and Saudi Arabia share a long history of collaboration. But trust becomes even more significant when nuclear capability enters the equation. Nuclear deterrence is built on secrecy, the precise details of command and control, the locations of storage facilities, and the technical aspects of delivery systems are all closely guarded. If even a hint of this information were to be shared without consent, it would fracture not only a bilateral relationship, but also the internal confidence of Pakistan's defense establishment. The complexity of nuclear knowledge also makes the allegation problematic. Unlike conventional weapons that can be traded or copied, nuclear expertise is deeply tied to infrastructure, human capital, and strategic culture. It cannot simply be packaged and passed along. What matters most is not only the technical specifications, but the systems of control and doctrine that define how the weapons are secured and used. Suggesting that another country could casually transfer such secrets underestimates both the sophistication of Pakistan's nuclear safeguards and the gravity with which the matter is treated at the highest levels of decision-making. Nevertheless, the rumor itself has consequences, regardless of its credibility. It sows doubt in Pakistan's public discourse, where questions of national pride and security are deeply sensitive. It also allows adversaries to raise concerns in international forums, framing Pakistan as a potential victim of betrayal or mismanagement. The very act of questioning whether such trust could be compromised forces leaders and citizens alike to reconsider the vulnerabilities of even their closest partnerships. In this way, the claim is not only about technology, but about the fragility of faith between allies in a volatile global environment. Pakistan's official position on the matter of nuclear security has remained firm and consistent over the years. Its nuclear assets are secure, sovereign, and beyond compromise. Whenever rumors surface about foreign access leaks or betrayal by allies, Pakistan's security agencies have moved quickly to dismiss them, labeling such stories as baseless and politically motivated. This rejection is not merely rhetorical, it reflects the seriousness with which Pakistan guards its nuclear capability. The country has invested heavily in creating one of the most sophisticated command and control systems in the developing world, ensuring that no unauthorized access, domestic or foreign, can undermine its deterrence. The credibility of these denials lies in the architecture Pakistan has built to protect its nuclear program. Over the years, institutions like the Strategic Plans Division have developed multi-layered protocols involving personnel reliability tests, strict compartmentalization of knowledge, and technological safeguards. This means that even within Pakistan, access to sensitive information is tightly restricted to only a handful of individuals. For external actors, whether friend or foe, the barriers are nearly impenetrable. Thus, when Pakistani officials reject such allegations, they are not only dismissing rumors, but also reaffirming the integrity of a system that has been stress-tested against international pressure and internal risks alike. Internationally, these assurances carry weight because Pakistan has repeatedly demonstrated its commitment to responsible nuclear stewardship. Despite skepticism in the West, no credible evidence has ever surfaced of Pakistan losing control over its weapons or secrets. On the contrary, security measures have often been cited in defense of its nuclear legitimacy when agencies deny claims of Saudi Arabia selling information to the United States. They are also defending Pakistan's image on the world stage, sending a message that such narratives are designed to weaken confidence in its sovereignty rather than reflect reality. What is also important to recognize is that denial in this context is not just about rebutting a rumor, it is about projecting resilience. For Pakistan, whose nuclear capability is intertwined with national pride, the rejection of these claims is a reaffirmation of independence and a refusal to allow its most powerful symbol of security to be politicized by external narratives. The message is clear. No matter how loudly such allegations circulate, Pakistan's nuclear assets are neither for sale nor for compromise, and its security institutions stand united in protecting them against both speculation and subversion. Ladies and gentlemen, as we have seen, the allegation that Saudi Arabia sold Pakistan's atomic secrets to the United States is more rumor than reality. It thrives on speculation, on historical suspicions, and on the geopolitical rivalries that surround Pakistan's nuclear program. But the truth is simple. Pakistan's nuclear assets are not only safe, they are safeguarded by one of the most reliable security architectures in the world. The trust between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia has weathered many challenges, and it cannot be shaken by circulating claims without evidence. In a world where perception often overshadows truth, we must learn to separate facts from fear and speculation from sovereignty. That rejection reflects both strength and clarity, that national security is not a bargaining chip, but a matter of survival and pride. Good luck to all of you as you continue to seek truth in an era of misinformation, and thank you for giving your time, your attention, and your open minds to this important discussion. May we all move forward with greater wisdom and responsibility.